Hi folks, today we are looking at the Nest RDA by Naturevape and Ares Vapor. Very interesting this one, so stick around. Hi folks, Kenny the Vaping here, back again with another review. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you're all doing hunky-dory and you're brilliant. Today, I've had a product actually sent to us for the purpose of a review, and it is from Naturevape and Ares Vapor. It is the Nest RDA, with a very different design for a deck. So basically what we'll do, we'll go down to the table, unbox it, do the build, all that good stuff. But in the meantime, please, if you like this channel, please, like, share, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Especially smash that sub button, would much appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty. Yeah. Right folks, here we are down the table looking at the Nest RDA by aresvapor.com and Naturevape. So at the front, you have a picture. On the side you have Naturevape and Ares. Side here you have nothing. On this side you've got manufacturer's Gen and all that stuff, and on the back here you've got all these specs. I don't know if I can see if I can zoom that in a bit for you guys so you can have a look. I've got a minute to see where we are. There we go. Let's have a look, see if that's focused in for you. Just double check, make sure we're in focus. Yeah, have a quick look. There you go. Right, sorry about that. But there you go. It tells you exactly what's in it, and the dimensions obviously 25 milli by 35.65, material 304 stainless. All the stuff that's in the box, you know what I mean. So if I just pull it back out a bit, if you just bear with us. Oh, going wrong way, that way, that's it, just come back out, there you go. Right, so there you have it guys, that's the back, that's the box, all the usual stuff. And what happens here is you slide it open and you are presented with the good old fashioned destruction manual, which basically, again, specs. I do like the specs. Main features are no dry hits, no spit back, innovative elite proof design, unmatched performance, smooth large juice capacity. So that's some of the features of it, and them's basically your build destructions and all that kind of stuff there. Put that over there, you bear with us. Also have the warranty card. Obviously this is not filled in because it's been sent over to us for a review, so that might be not filled in. Then inside you have these little peripheral boxes, like so, presented with that. Look under the pouches first. This just kind of lifts up. Basically you're presented with, there's all sorts in here. You've obviously got all your spare O-rings and stuff like that, screws, all the usual goodies there. You've got 1, 2, 3 different coils. Here we have a single canthal strip coil. We also have a nichrome strip coil, and we also have stainless steel strip coil. I would like to have seen some resistances or something put on them, just to get you a better idea what they are. But at least they've got the materials on, which is a good thing. And here you have like what seem to be 2 strips of cotton in here and a pack of Muji cotton. Anyway, a piece of Muji cotton, I believe. Under here you have, I can just tip them to the side because they're buried in the bottom of the box there. Under here you have your Phillips screwdriver, and of course this is the the wrapping tool or wrapping gauge, whatever you want to, this is where you wind your coil around the jig, coil jig, basically, that's the word I'm looking for. And then obviously in here we have the star of the show, which is the Nest RDA. I'm out of focus here. Come on, let's have a look here. Just see if I can zoom her in again, guys, so we can see what we're doing. Well, come on. There we go. There we go. We're in now. Just so you can see what's going on. There you go. So here we have it, the Nest RDA. Lovely design, or lovely pattern, nest on there. Pretty pleasing to the eye, isn't it? On the bottom, you know, you have your cereal, you have Ares Vapor and Naturevape, Ares serial number 396. You see marks of the vape, gold plated pin in the bottom as always. There's no squong pin. You'll probably see later on again the build why that is. You've got your airflow. If you just let us put it on the stand here, the bottom airflow, like a Cyclops style airflow. You know, you turn it one way, there you go. That happens on that side, that happens on that side. It's quite tight, you know, it's a little bit tight, but that will obviously slacken off as you use it. You've got your, you know, your normal A10 drip tape, which does have the O-ring on the inside, so you can put your own on if you don't like this one. And then obviously you take the cap off. You'll see, if I just borrow the screwdriver a tick, you may see there is a little, see that little dink in there. That's this fella just in here. Well, sorry, there, just there. That's for your stopper. There's one either side, I believe. Yeah, that's for your stopper. So the machining obviously is a little bit rough down there, down that spot. I don't know how good you can see that. It's a little bit rough there because obviously it's been done with a milling cutter, but the actual doming and the top here is spot on, and obviously it's nice and smooth here because they have the turned surfaces. But yeah, generally very nice. Very nice. Oh, obviously the dome top will be for the flavour enhancement. Now, this fella. Yeah. Have a look at this guy. What you have is like a cage here. I don't know if I can actually get it out. There you go. This cage is what pops out, and it's got like a little O-ring on where it sits down. This is where your build is going to be, your main build. As you will see in the build, the general idea is you wrap your coil around, wrap it in cotton, and you pop that in there, and that will pop into the bottom of the deck. It just pops in with an O-ring, like so. And then obviously the legs go here and here. Airflow is straight up from the bottom under here. Sorry mate, I'm drifting off. The airflow comes straight up from under here. As you can see, it's, I don't know if you can actually see any data, but you can see my hand behind that if you can, through that slot. It goes straight through the bottom. O-ring top and bottom. So yeah, I mean there's not much else we can show and tell until we actually do a build on it. So what we'll do, we'll go have a quick little break here, quick little cut. Oh sorry, there while I'm there, you can see there's a little notch in there. That's for your stopper, there and there. But yeah, what we'll do now is we'll move on to a build. And this is where the deck will become more self-explanatory, so we shall see you there. Right guys and girls, here we go. This is going to be interesting. Try and build on this. If you bear with us, I'll just get just getting stuff together here. If you bear with us just a sec. Right, well, pretty much sorted. Right, so what I've done, I've took the cage out, got that ready. There's a little cage, took that out, and I've unloosened the screws. So we can now put that to the side. I'm going to use the stainless steel coil or stainless steel wire. Now, what I get the gist of is obviously you take your coiling rod here and you just bend this around the coiling rod like so, give it a little roll,
oops, sorry, give it a little roll. I'm off camera there. You give it a little roll like so, right? And it does, with it being stainless, it is a bit springy like so. And then what you got to do is I'm taking a strip of cotton out of the packet. I believe you can just use Muji for this stuff. It's a bit difficult when you're not on camera. And basically you just kind of like put that on the edge of there and kind of just like wrapping it around here. Like round your wire type of thing. And then obviously when you get it round, so it covers the actual wire, like comes round it, you kind of just like cut the end bit off, you know, so you just kind of get it as straight as you can. It is a bit of a fiddle, mind, I must say. You know, you get it like that. Basically, what you're looking at here, if I can see, you've got the cotton wrapped round the outside of the coil. Your legs are down here. And what you want to do is have your legs pointing up over, and then just slide this down the bottom of the tube like so. And now you've got to snuggle this in the cage somehow. So it's a case of just, you know, it's probably easier said than done, but it's a case of just twisting and turning and, you know, get the edge under type of thing. Twist it round the kind of the direction you want to be. Slot it down. It comes to the base. I think I'm somewhere near that. I don't, you know, I've had a couple of goes at this, and you know, I still haven't quite cracked it yet. But that's kind of what you're looking at. You want the coil itself needs to be like in a gap. So you kind of like need to twist that round if you can. Actually, I might have a little bit too much cotton on there actually, so I don't know if I can get this to slide back out. Hang on a minute, folks. Like I say, it's hitty missy. It does take a couple of goes to do it. I've obviously there still got a bit too much on, so I'm going to take a tad more off because that was a bit tight. So I'll take a bit more off there. See if that makes it any better. I think that has kind of got a bit better. It is a bit of a very finicky, I think, you know, a bit finicky. You get that back round there. Get that bit back over there. Sorry if I'm drifting off camera, but it is a touch on the finicky side. And obviously we'll try again. I want to be able to like twist it, you know, I don't want it so tight so it's compact in. I want to be able to twist it round and get it. I think it's like everything else, you know, if you first do it, it's a bit finicky, and then after that it's fine. But what I gather is you need to get your two legs. There you go, that's turning now, that's nice. I think that's the game. If you know you can turn that cage, you're there, and you need your legs like in a gap here, and the reason for that is once you get that, you need to bend your legs down like so, and obviously like, hang on a minute, I can't get out. Nah, Mr. No Nails. If you bend your legs down 90 degrees like that, you want them over the gap, so obviously if you bend there's no chance of them hitting the side of that, so that's why that's got to be in a gap like that. Oh, are you up with this? It is a bit complex, I must admit, like, but you know, it reminds us of just building a sub-ohm coil. I think that's what we're kind of doing here. And then it's a case of like obviously dropping it in here with your O-ring there, and then just pulling that out, so you get something like that. And by like as you do that, you tuck your legs in, so you're getting kind of something. Not the best of builds, like, but I think you're getting kind of something like that. I mean, that cotton there's probably just kicked out a bit. I'll just flatten that down there. So you're getting something like that kind of thing, you know. It looks a bit like a sub-ohm coil. And basically you're just clamping down your legs, but I'm going to wrap mine round. So I'm going to stick that there and I'm going to wrap mine round. if I can, so I can get the screw to get a good hold of it. Go that way, and whatever way your screw turns, I think that's the way to go, because obviously as the screw turns it pulls it down. If you wrap them round kind of like that, then I'm using this screwdriver and then start like just nipping them down, you know. So as long as that there is in that gap, is he down there? I think he is, but just push him down. Obviously like lift him up enough so I can get a hold of him like that. In case of screwing it down and just get him to clamp down, I believe, like so. I've got enough camera again, sorry folks, it is a little bit hard to build this thing off camera actually. Again with the other one, get him clamped down, make sure you know he's in there where he needs to be, because sometimes, like I say, if you haven't got it down properly it will try and kick up. I think I'm getting him. Am I getting that one? Perhaps not quite. I just need to lift him up and pull him through a bit more. Maybe like so. Just push him through so I get a better hold of him. That's it. Sorry if I'm drifting about off camera, but it's pretty difficult to build off camera actually. Basically, like I say, you get that down there, get them nipped. Obviously, you end up with a bit of excessive leg. You want them kind of facing where they need to be. Want a little gap there. I think with that one, actually, I think with this one, I'll go the other side because I think I pulled them apart a bit too far. Yeah, if I go him that side and then took him round, I think that will be a better way to do it. If I haven't fucked the wire up, I haven't bent the wire out, the fuck, we'll get it round there somehow, get him in, there you go, that's it. Do apologise guys, it's fucking hell. I'm kinda like there, I believe. I think that's the way to go. Sometimes like it's better to lift them out the way. Lift that one out of the way. Oh. Let me just nudge your bar back in there, just to keep that rounded off. As you can see, has pulled that up a bit, you see, because you do need a gap. Yeah, I've kind of pulled that over there a bit, guys. I mean, you do need to make sure you've got that gap there. I think that's what you've got to be careful of, is when you tighten them up, they do kick it over a bit, so you must make sure you've got a gap in that coil. I'll just pull this leg in just to round them off a bit. Again, you see like that, just get them nicely rounded off. Just keep it does pull it over a bit when you tighten it, so you may have to just, you know, shimmy it about a bit, have a little bit of a fanny on it. It is a bit of a, I think your first time it is a bit of a learning curve, obviously with me. I mean, you know, this is the first time I've ever done it. I think I've done a reasonable job there, you can see that, all that. All I've got to do now is just clip these wires off. And you bear with us, that's the only thing I haven't prepared with. Where's the bloody snips? So, bear with us. Not that with the snips. Yeah, it's, you know, you get in, cut your spare wire off. Again, cut your spare wire off. And basically, I would say, this is my actual genuine first attempt. I haven't rehearsed it, anything at all. This is where I'm at with it. I've kind of done it. I see you've got to have that gap between here. You don't want these joining, touching. You know, you need that gap down there. Get some light on, or you will get a hard short. It's got to be. They've got to be apart. It's as simple as that. You know, you can just inch them apart a bit if you need to with your pliers and tweezers and stuff, you know. Just, it does pinch over a tad when you tighten them. I think, you know, if you just have a little bit of a tweak, just make sure that they are apart. There's no gap. No, there's got to be a gap there. I don't want to be touching at all. You know, you can tweak about with it. See there, I've got the gap all the way down. You know, coils in there. And all you do now, apparently, is the easy bit. You just get some cotton. It doesn't have to be Muji cotton. It doesn't have to be, you know, anything, you know, any cotton of your choosing, really. Well, we'll use this pad that's in here. I'll get the pad out of the bag. Basically, just a case of kind of like just stuffing it full of cotton. Basically, I'm just going to, you know, pull the edges of it, spread it about, you know, pull some strips of it. You know, like I say, this does not have to be tidy. You know, you can just, you know, just chunk some strips like that, pull it to bits, and basically you're just going to fill the sides of this here, which apparently is the fun part. You can just fluff it out a bit and whatever, you know. Just basically, and all you're doing is just grabbing your end and just sticking it in here on the side. You know, just shove it in. Don't obviously not cram, you know, not like pack it solid, but you know, you just fill up this outside edge here full of coffin. Why am I saying coffin instead of bloody cotton? What's the matter with this? Yeah, you just stick that all in there, like so. You know, it's not going to hurt it. I've got a bit too much there, perhaps. You just, you know, that's how easy it is. You know, you can just cut what you want. Oh shit, I pulled it all out. Way, look at that. It would have to do it on camera, wouldn't it? But but basically, you just, you know, you're filling the outside edge here up, because this cotton is basically going to be like your wicking system here. This is going to be, you know, wicking your coil, you know. And you know, if you want to put a bit more in, you can, you know, like I say, I'll pull that around there. I mean, it doesn't have to be too tight, but like I say, I've got a gap there, so I'm just going to another piece of cotton there, just shove that in there like so. You know, and jobs are good, more or less. And basically, guys, that is it. That is it. That's the fun part, you know. I say, just, you know, fill that up nicely with cotton. Again, you could probably put a tad more on there. You know, just like a bit like stuffing a cushion, I suppose. You know, just lay it on there, nice as ninepence. I don't think, you know, I don't like stuff it too. It's like, you know, just placing it in, just dropping it in, and obviously pressing it down a tad, but don't like really stuff it in. You know, just touch it down. As you know, it's got to expand as well when it's juiced up. But I think, you know, as long as you kind of like levelish with the top of this guy here, you know, just plonk it down there, and then basically you just soak this to the tits with whatever juice you want to put on. You know, it's just absolutely, that's how easy it is to wick now. I'm just trying to get this bit here to tuck in down the side a bit there, because it's springing back out on us. There you go. That's kind of where you're at. I'll put my little stick in there just to make sure that's all rounded off nice as ninepence. And there you go, just kept him back in there, making sure everything's still nicely squared up and evened off, you know. Make sure I've still got my gaps. And that, guys, is kind of basically it. Now it's just a case of absolutely saturating this with juice, and you're ready to rock and roll. And I mean, you know, you can just dump it in as much as you want, you know. Absolutely just saturated, you know. I think Naturevape on his unboxing said about 80 drops, but I think judging by this, we could be looking at more than 80 drops. I mean, I'm just dumping this in. Again, just make sure you got your coil pre-wick. As long as that one there starts to go soggy in the middle, I don't think you should have any troubles with it. I'll get that absolutely saturated. Even put a drop down there and all, I think. Just, get the whole lot absolutely soaked. And there you go, guys. That's kind of like a pre-soaked and ready to go, wicked up, ready to go thing. Bubble RDA. It's yeah, it's a bit of a funny one to build on. When you line your top cap up, with your notches lined up. That's it. And you see it lines up, and then obviously take it off the mount. I'll put it on this guy here, the Paranormal, just to give it a fire. It's coming out at about 2.5 ohms. Yeah, 0.25 ohms, sorry. Hold on a minute. Bloody menus on this at times are a pain in the arse. Right, watts, there you go. There we are. Get it turned up a bit. Turn up about 70 watts at the minute, just see what we'll go like, and then.
Right, folks, I've just jumped in here with that build section, because as I'll continue on that build, although that is basically how you build, that build for me failed. As I'll show a little clip now, hotspots galore on the coil. I didn't even entertain trying that. So what I've done, I took it all out again, and I used a proper strip of Muji cotton, a full strip, which I have, a bag of it. I used a normal strip, used a proper strip, rolled it much tighter, because obviously I think it wasn't tight enough, hence the glowing coil. And I did get success, it worked. So then I thought, well, okay, we've managed to kind of master the Muji cotton wicking as is. So I thought, well, I've got some, if you bear with us a technicality here, I've got some normal run-of-the-mill cotton gods. Can we do the same with that? Now I'm running a bit of footage now, and you can see, messy, but it worked. And so you're not just tied to using Muji cotton on this device. I've still got it here in my hand, still got the same stuff in there. That's the cotton gods in, wrapped round. The coil is not glowing or anything like that. I don't know if you can see that. It's not glowing or anything. Whack it on. I've got on the replay mode on the Paranormal 250C, and vaping like a trooper. So I thought I'd dive in with that little quick explanation. Now we'll cut this being up top for me final thoughts and all that stuff. So back to tick. Right, folks, here we are back up top with the Nest. I've got this on the Paranormal 250C at the moment on replay mode, and it is absolutely spot on. Can't grumble at all. I've got the old, what have I got there? A juice I know well. There's the cherry cake dodgers in it. And let's give it a bit of a toot there. As you can see, oops, sorry about that, clouds and clouds and clouds for days. But before I do carry on, can I just say a big thank you to Mark at Naturevape, not just for sending me this, but for sending all us not so well known reviewers this device to review.
it's nice to see the little guy get sent something for review, you know, off a company, person, shop, whatever. So again, thank you very much, Mark, for that. Now, so down to the nitty gritty. Good points. We'll start with good points. The idea and the innovation behind this is second to none. Fantastic idea, great idea, which does work. To sum it up in a nutshell, you're probably looking at one of these, but without the glass. You know, you're basically building a sub-ohm coil, more or less a mesh sub-ohm coil, and you're using your wick as the nest to supply the juice to that coil. Basically one of them without a glass. Same kind of airflow, straight through the bottom, same on here, straight through the bottom, up the middle. Same with these, down the bottom, up the middle. It's exactly the same kind of theory behind an RDA, you know. And excuse me with the light, because the sun has now just decided to pop out and got me looking all sorts of funny colours. Do apologise. But yeah, that's basically what you've got. And it works. The clouds, as you've seen, fantastic. Flavour is absolutely phenomenal, as you would expect from a mesh coil. So yeah, everything is good, you know, and I like the aesthetics, I love this pattern. I think it looks better on the stainless than what it does on the black, because obviously you can see it better. I like the drip tip, you know, I like the ease of way, you know, you can get access to it and everything, you know, the tolerances are nice on the cap. Yeah, it is pretty good. Flavour's good, it's not the best I've ever had, but it is bloody really good. It's phenomenal, in fact, you know. But like I said, you'd expect that off a mesh coil. And now, the bad points. I say that very loosely. As far as performance and etc., there's no bad point. It's mint. My bad point is the building. You've seen by my table cam, I never got it right the first time. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I never got it right the first time. You know, it was absolutely an awful build. I got hotspot galore, and that was due to, you know, it was me. It was user error. I thought them thin strips of cotton you got in the box with the kit were a bit on the thin side. So I rectified that by just using a strip of Muji, cut around the same, and got that wrapped. You do need to wrap that tight. It's, you know, you don't want it to just slot. You need to get that to wiggle into that cage to hold the coil, because it's like with all mesh coils, that coil has got to be in constant contact with the cotton. As you may well have known with, you know, mesh RDAs with the half circle, you've got to get plenty of cotton in there, because as soon as there's no mesh in contact with that cotton, it's dry hit. It's just dry hit period. It's dry hit hell. And that's what happened with me the first time. You know, it wasn't wrapped tight enough, and I believe it wasn't enough. I did correct it with some Muji, and it went near bother. I also tried it, as you've seen, with some normal cotton gods, you know, normal run-of-the-mill cotton. I would say you can get away with it, but I think Muji is the best way to go for actually wrapping the coil. Leaving the skin, you know, like the Muji get the skin on there, leave that on because it keeps everything compact. You don't get cotton all over, you can get it wrapped nice and tight without it fluffing and pulling apart on you. But to me, that's what needs to be done. You need to wrap that coil tight before you put it in the cage. Otherwise, you know, you're looking for dry hit hell. I mean, once you pat the nest out, that's again down to yourself, you know. I mean, you can, I wouldn't again pack it in too tight, because obviously, you know, the cotton's not going to absorb the liquid as quick as you're vaping. But yeah, the building is going to be the Achilles heel of this device. You know, it looked easy, but it is easy when you're watching someone. When you're actually doing it, it is a different kettle of fish. Don't get us wrong, I'm not writing it off. You will get it with practice, without a doubt. You'll definitely get it with practice. But you know, I think, you know, somebody, you know, was a bit you know, not dexterous or something may struggle to build with it. But on the other hand, you know, once you're getting that right, it's spot on. But to me, that's going to be the problem. You know, the build. So not a lot of people are going to be able to manage that. I would say if you ever done a 1.5 or a 2, a Mark 2 version of it, was maybe to somehow design a pre-made coil that's already wrapped that would just drop into that cage and you just clamp it down, you know, something like a sub-ohm coil, something pre-made to make it more user-friendly for the people that, you know, aren't really dead. I mean, I've got fat fingers, I kind of grip out, you know. I managed, but it wasn't easy for me, you know what I mean? If somebody's got nails or something, they'll fly, but I think maybe it's like a ready assembled coil that you just drop in there, clamp down tight, and then pack your nest, build your nest, so to speak. I think that could be something for the future to make it more user friendly. But like I say, you know, all in all, that will be the Achilles heel for people. You know, I mean, I'll hold my hands, but I've never been a fan of rebuildable mesh, period. I've had too many, you know, dry hits off it and lungs getting burnt out with bringing, you know, the hot coals of hell off it. So, you know, I'm just thinking, you know, when I seen it was mesh, you know, I was like, but you know, I persevered and I'm glad I did, because at the end of the day, guys, when you get it right, it's a bloody good idea. It's a bloody good idea. Nobody else has done this. It's, excuse me, it's totally different. So, what more can I say on that? Except, well done, Mark. Just for bringing some innovation to the table. You know, it's about time somebody did do that. And, you know, hats off. You know, you've got to be bold. You've got to be brave, you know, to bring new ideas. Yeah, you're not going to please everybody. You know, but it is what it is. But I think, you know, the guy has come up with a very good idea. It does work. And there is still room for improvement. Like anything, there's always room for improvement. But like I say, the Achilles heel is a building. You know, a lot of people might get it near bother. I found it a bit finicky. I think it was the third time I actually got it spot on. Because the second time I just went, and felt like hiding out the window, but you know, but the reason I've showed up my cock-ups, you know, like I say, that first build, I've shown that in this clip. You know, I could have edited it out and said, ooh, everything's great, it builds great, but you know, the guy has sent us a product out to review, and I wanted to be as honest as I can, and if I fucked up, I'd like everybody to show that I fucked up, and you know, and how to avoid doing the same mistake as me. So I hope it has helped, you know. I mean, like I say, once you get, it might be like riding a bike, once you get the hang of building on it, it'll just come naturally. But that's the only stigma I've got with it, bar that absolutely fabulous little RDA, honestly. I mean, plus, you know, like a normal RDA, you've got to drip, drip, drip. With this, you know, you can just douse it and juice and, you know, I'm averaging about 10 to 20 hits off it, no problem, before I've got to reduce it. And obviously with the replay, it's a little bit like temp control, so when this detects it's getting dry, and I just look, oh, and away you go. So I'll recommend a DNA board for it as well on replay mode if you use the stainless steel coil. Speaking of which, the 3 coils you get are, you know, the stainless steel, the Canthal and the Nicron. They're all warm out about 0.2 ohms, round about there. I've found them pretty comfortable between the 60 to 70 watt mark. You know, you can probably push it to a bit further to your taste, you know, but obviously with it being a, you know, wrapped mesh, you know, I wouldn't go too far with it. As far as the availability of coils are, Mark's obviously Naturevape have got them on their website. They've got them in packs of 10 for around £6.99, £7 mark. And you can also buy the strips of cotton, and he does supply 3 kinds. You know, he's got the hemp, the pulled cotton, and I hope I pronounce this alginate cotton, and they're all about fucking roughly about £5 a pack for 10 strips of that. All I would say with them strips of cotton, Mark, if you're watching, maybe doing them a bit thicker. I found them a bit thin, but that was me. I mean, you know, somebody else could do better. Like I said, I did do it with the cotton gods. I think to wrap your coil, Muji's the way to go. Could that be a con? You know, you have to use the Muji or you have to use them cotton strips for it? Possibly. But I tried wrapping it with cotton gods. It did work, but I think with the cotton being a different texture, you were going to a bit more juice on it. But bar that, nah, it's a fucking brilliant little tank, brilliant idea, brilliant little idea. For beginners, maybe a bit tough for beginners, but you know, hobbyists, all that, all day, go for it. Definitely go for it. It's absolutely mint. So I'm going to wrap this one up, I think, now, boys and girls. Just remember, you know, the usual, you know, if you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, hit that button. And if you want to then support my channel, I've got a link for buying me a coffee, and please click that, you know, that would be much appreciated as well. Again, thanks to Mark at Naturevape for sending this over for review. Absolute legend, sir. And obviously, you know, Ares as well, because, you know, they're making it. So thanks to all these guys for sending it over. So I'll wrap this up now, guys, and say I've been Kenny, the Vaping Heat. Stay safe, vape safe. I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Cheers now. Bye.